What's up everyone? Your favorite three-headed kaiju here with another list, and today I'll be going over the top 6 fights in Jurassic Park / World. Let me state this first though, so Kevin doesn't get his head ripped off again. This is my opinion and mine alone, but if you do agree with this list, hit that like button one time for your boy, and if you have a different opinion, then post it in the comments down below. Share your thoughts. Let's get talking. Alright, starting off number 6 in dead last is the Velociraptor fight from the Lost World. What, you thought it was going to be JP3? I think I may surprise you where that one ends up sitting at. Now, this one is at dead last because in terms of action there really is none. Sarah makes the raptor fall onto his packmate, and instead of both of them working to get Sarah, they show their intelligence, or lack thereof, and start fighting with each other. The only part I do like is that they roll between the background and the foreground, just missing Sarah. This ferocity and savagery reflects how they were depicted in the novel for the Lost World at least. Moving on to number 5 is the final fight in Jurassic World Dominion. Shocker, right? Maybe you guys thought it would be JP3 again.
Nope, wrong again.
Okay, so what is it about this fight that just doesn't do it for me? Honestly, it's all of it. The biggest major gripe is that Rex is just bullied here. And yes, I know she's old, and yes, I know she doesn't have any experience fighting large carnivores, since the Indominus was her first real battle. But the way the prologue set everything up to make those of us who watched it and waited eagerly for this inevitable showdown to happen, we was hoping that we would get something of a little bit more caliber. There was no back and forth between them. Rexy gets a few bites in and then she just goes down. Then the 30X Machina shows up and allows Rexy to get the kill. Don't get me wrong, it was a cool kill, but it could have been better. The Giga didn't even do anything to deserve his fate. Who knew just being a dinosaur in the Jurassic franchise was a sin in and of itself? I still don't see the reason of why it got involved, and before you say it's because the neurochips in their heads brought them all there. Okay, so where did all the other dinosaurs just fuck off to? Pretty sure the Giga would have preferred a sauropod over fighting another carnivore. I'm just saying, but because movie had to happen, this is what we got. Honestly though, if they could have at least cut in between the fight of Rexy and Zeb in the past and present, that would have been better instead of that tiny little flash we get right before Rexy opens her eyes again. Hell, they could have even given us the Buck and Doe come to her rescue since they were there the whole time apparently. Or hell, why not even the Spinosaurus to show a mending of the two sides that have been warring for over 20 years for no damn reason at all finally coming together. Just something would have been better than what we got. Don't get me wrong now, Dominion is my third favorite movie, and I do think the fight was cool, but also find it so unnecessary. It's a real love-hate relationship I have with this, and the only reason it's not in the number 6 spot is because it was still an actual fight, and it was an actual fight that we got to see, other than what we got in the Lost World. So, moving on. Number 4 goes to the Jurassic Park ending, which sees Rexy taking out the big one and her subordinate. What is that typing I hear? Well, let me stop you right there. This is in number 4 because 1 is still more of a fight than what the Lost World gave us, and it makes more sense than what happened in Dominion. What I like about it is the build-up. We watched Grant, Ellie, and the kids desperately try to escape the raptors, and every time we thought they were safe, the raptors persisted. Then when we think all is lost, boom, motherfucking T-Rex. The way how she literally comes from off screen to grab the raptor had to be a shocker in theaters. I was only 2 when the movie came out, so I wouldn't know. I can only imagine. Now I know it isn't much of a fight, but the fanfare of the music as Rexy X Machinas her way into the visitor center, or what I can only assume is her hunting. I mean, you don't even hear her coming at all, which is just amazing. We can even kinda see how she got in said visitor center via an unfinished section of the wall. What does it for me is the sheer balls of the big one to still attack the T-Rex instead of fleeing, which is only to give our human characters the chance they need to escape, but I'm digressing. The look and sounds coming from this scene alone is why I like it so much. The sounds of the big one trying to do as much damage as you can, and the frustration coming from Rexy as she tries to get the big one off her back. When you think about it, there's a lot conveyed there even if neither one of them speaks or shows any visible emotions. Then of course, there's the ending with Rexy slamming the big one into the Rex skeleton with such force it just topples over. As far as movie endings go, it's perfection, but not enough for me to make it to the top of the list. So let's keep moving along. In third place, I'm putting Blue versus the Indoraptor. Let me just start off by saying Blue is just a savage in this scene. I don't know if she was following Owen's scent because she smelled the Indoraptors mixed in, or if she picked a fight with it because the Indoraptor had a similar scent like the Indominus and Blue wanted to investigate for the fight. Whatever the reason is, she put the Indoraptor through his paces. He is twice the size of Blue, and she still gave him trouble. What we are seeing is how she became leader of her Raptor squad because she was on straight business from start to finish. I also like how, just like with the Raptor fight in Lost World, they shift between foreground and background because the director knows we want to see as much of this as we can, and they do a good job of delivering that. Even when Owen and Maisie leave the room, you can still see some of the action and hear it. The fight doesn't stay off screen for long either when the Indoraptor and Blue break the window. I mean, he has her pinned and she still manages to get from under him. I'm guessing the Rex blood transfusion she has gotten has her pumped. Then the shot with them falling in slow motion, the glass around them with the lighting, and the musical score that Fallen Kingdom has to go with it just meshes all so well. Our second place winner is a fight that tore the fandom in half. You were either on Team T-Rex or Team Spino. This fight sparked a debate so huge the fires are still raging 20 years later. This war is so heated, Colin Trevorrow scrapped his idea for a Rex vs. Spino rematch in Fallen Kingdom because he didn't want the flames to get any hotter. This fight is one I go back to and watch a lot because it is exactly how I picture two large prehistoric animals going at it. I love how they both were chasing humans, and upon seeing the other immediately said it was on sight. They both knew exactly what it was when one walked into the other's field of vision. The sounds emitted from both here are pristine and clean, and the sense of scale you get as you see the tiny humans scramble for some sort of safety as they knock over trees trying to rip the other apart. I loved how they were showcased here. Both behemoths moved quite gracefully as they pivoted around the other, trying to get or keep the other at bay. Even if the fight is shorter than some of the others on the list, so much is conveyed and shown here, you would think it lasted longer than just the 2 minutes. Now, was I pleased the Rex died? No. Did I feel like it was a big slap in the face? Yes. But back then, I couldn't wrap my mind around the fact there was a reason they put the Spinosaurus in the logo. If you want to know why they did so, check out my video I did for it. Just know, despite what the facts say in real life, in this movie, this fight fucking slaps and set the standard for dinosaur fights moving forward. Before we get to the number one, let's go through some honorable mention. My number one for this list is the creme de la creme of dinosaur fights, and that is Rexy and Blue versus the Indominus Rex. This fight has what I want out of all large carnivore brawls. Great music, fantastic sounds, and destruction of the area. It's like a mini kaiju fight. And yes, I know the Rex v Spinal fight had destruction of the area, but not like how Jurassic World did it. Rexy, Blue, and the Indominus tore Main Street apart. The music here was perfect. I mean, just listen to the beginning of it. I honestly would not have minded if this music played throughout the whole fight, but I'm glad it shifted when Rexy and Blue gained the upper hand and began to literally throw the Indominus into the other buildings. The way the fight was choreographed to focus on our human characters but not once shift away from the main action, the thing the audience really wanted to see. The fight was in the background, but was still affecting everything in the characters' foreground as they scrambled to find some sort of safety, even having to avoid being crushed by Blue as she was thrown through the glass into the store right in front of their path. Speaking of that, Blue had to be running off pure adrenaline because the force of impact she took from the Indominus' initial hit and the force from being thrown into that store was nothing short of intense. She kept getting right back up and just gunning for the Indom, and then the way she was running on both the backs of the larger animals, attacking the Indominus but quickly shifting to Rexy the moment she sees where the Tyrant Queen is taking their adversary. Now, this fight showcases Rexy learning to fight large carnivores because up until now, she had been Nublar's top dog. So when the fight first starts, she gets her bites in, but can't get a solid hold on the Indominus. Indominus, seeing this, starts using her claws, her ability to reach, to stay away from the Rex's mighty jaws, and quickly gets the upper hand. When it seems like all is lost for Rexy Ex Machina, Blue Ex Machina steps in. This allows Rexy to not only get her bites in, but use her weight to her advantage. You could see her throwing her weight around to push the Indominus to spots she needed to go. I believe she even tried to push the Indominus into the lagoon. Quick second though, can we just take a moment to realize that Blue is just an amazing tank in these movies, taking shots from dinosaurs and pickup trucks? I was hoping for a bit more of this fight, but the Moza had other plans. Makes me wonder if they fed it regularly because it was just hungry that day. This fight is my most watched fight from the franchise, and mind you, I've been watching the Rex v Spinal fight for over 10 years prior to this film, so that's a lot of views. Maybe I need a better use of my time. Nah. I do hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion video, and I know I said I was going to do a top 5 Velociraptor calls, and I still will, but I don't have a set date and time that I plan on doing so. Who knows, maybe I'll rank the Jurassic kids next if I feel motivated enough to do so. And no, I'm not including Cat Cretaceous because it's just such a debacle that I don't even think Chaos Theory can fix it. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment and share this video to get it out there and let people know what's going on in this corner of YouTube. Also, subscribe if you want more content and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on my uploads and posts. And don't be shy, join my live streams. Come chill and enjoy the conversation sometimes. We really be getting to the nitty gritty. Now, until next time everyone, take care and I'll be seeing you all in the next video.